The Twitter files have resumed, and this time they catch a private company using Twitter censorship for their own profit. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is another declaration of truth from your host, Terry A. Hurlbut. Twitter Files 13 just dropped yesterday afternoon. This time, a new reporter, Alex Berenson, directly accuses Pfizer Pharmaceuticals of pressuring Twitter. The subject, adverse test results relating to their immunization preparation against a virus that shall remain nameless. Before I share the thread and many other tweets to put it all in context, I do want to shout out to the prime sponsor of this channel, which is Conservative News and Views. Link in the description. And be sure to check out the awesome CNAV Store. Scroll down near the bottom for that link. Lots of great merchandise there, especially this t-shirt that I have chosen for today, which reads, "I need new conspiracies, as all the old ones have come true." And this time, the conspiracy involves a company suppressing information to protect its profits. This is a complaint we once heard from the left about the major American tobacco firms. Now we hear about it, hear about a company making a drug that the left wants the government to force you to have. Now the shoe is squeezing the other foot. One more thing, if you like what you're about to hear, you can like this video. You can also click the bell icon to get a notice every time I come out with a new one. In fact, do you see the new icon, the heart shape with the US dollar sign in it? That's the super thanks icon. If you really want to keep these videos coming, click on that and leave me a tip. Any currency will do, so long as it's legal tender. Beginning at 11:08 a.m. Pacific time, Alex Berenson released his first ever Twitter Files thread. It is very short, only 4 tweets. I have links to the second and the fourth. Mr. Berenson reported more detail, or slightly more detail, in an article on his Substack page, and I have a link in the description to that too. Briefly, Scott Gottlieb, MD, had been in charge of the Food and Drug Administration. Then he joined the board of directors of Pfizer Pharmaceuticals. His immediate successor, Dr. Brett Giroir, put out a tweet citing a study showing, or suggesting anyway, that natural immunity to the virus that shall remain nameless, following infection by it, was superior to the artificial active acquired immunity, with the preparation that the study's authors cited happened to be Pfizer's. I have a link in the description to that study. Here is how it concluded. Quote, "The study demonstrated that natural immunity confers longer lasting and stronger protection against infection, symptomatic disease, and hospitalization caused by the Delta variant of the virus, compared to the Pfizer 2-dose artificial active acquired immunity. Individuals who were both previously infected with the virus and given a single dose of the Pfizer poke gained additional protection against the Delta variant." Close quote. Of course, I quote it loosely, but you get the idea. Now remember, Dr. Giroir still believed that any preparation, presumably by Pfizer or anyone else, made someone safer if he had not had the infection. In the very tweet in which he cited that study, he specifically said that anyone who had not had the infection should take the poke to be safe from infection. I have links in the description to the relevant tweet by Dr. Giroir, plus 6 other tweets to place it in context. In fact, several doctors pounced on Dr. Giroir's tweet, calling it irresponsible. In response, Dr. Giroir tried to steer a middle course. All he said was that the study removed any scientific justification for mandating the poke for anyone who had already had the disease and gotten over it. Now, whether you believe that's true or not, that's up to you. I've been away from my former profession way too long for me to offer medical advice anyway. The point is, this stance by Dr. Giroir, the middle course, did not suit Dr. Gottlieb, who emailed Todd O'Boyle, Twitter's man in Washington. He called the tweet corrosive and fretted that, and I quote, "This tweet will end up going viral and driving news coverage," unquote, Dr. Gottlieb. Translation, it will hurt Polk sales, which accounted then for nearly half of Pfizer's total sales. Twitter obliged by tagging Dr. Giroir's first tweet, the one citing the study, as misleading. And that misleading tag is still on it. I've already quoted it to Elon. He'll decide whether that tag stays or goes. Before I get to the next thing Dr. Gottlieb did in relation to another user, I want to shout out to a sponsor who can really help you through the economic storms to come. That sponsor is oursilverlines.com. Do you feel like you're working harder for your money just to get by? You are not alone. The fluctuating economy, unemployment issues, and unexpected changes in life have left many families struggling over the last few years. Collecting gold and silver can help shield you against many of these challenges. But if you're like me many years ago, you don't know where or how to start. Our Silver Lines helps by connecting you with thousands of members who are learning the secrets to creating and protecting true wealth by collecting precious metals. Whether you just want to collect rare and unique coins or take advantage of the business opportunities this company provides, either way, they can help you learn to live an exceptional life. Visit oursilverlines.com to learn how you can build a legacy for your future. Now, a week after the dust-up over Dr. Giroir's study citation, Dr. Gottlieb complained to Twitter about a tweet from a man named Justin Hart, suggesting that the virus presented a low risk to children. I have a link in the description to that tweet, which I have from Alex Berenson's Substack article. It reads, quote, "Sticks and stones may break my bones, but a viral pathogen with a child mortality rate of about 0 has cost our children nearly 3 years of schooling," close quote, and ends with an angry face emoticon. Again, Mr. O'Boyle forwarded the complaint to Twitter, but this time Twitter took no action. Berenson's worst charge concerns Gottlieb's claim last year, October 22, that he was not trying to suppress debate on Pfizer's preparation. That, says Berenson, is a bold-faced lie. Pfizer did try to suppress debate, and O'Boyle knew what Pfizer's director was doing. That's why he never saw fit to mention to anyone at Twitter that Gottlieb was now a Pfizer director. Worth noting is that an account calling itself Progressive Doctors took exception to Hart's message. I have a link in the description to their tweet. Quote, "Deaths alone aren't it. Pediatric ICUs are full. Children are experiencing teacher and parent loss. And pediatric lung disease is real. And uncontrolled transmission is worse for learning loss than protective measures." Unquote, Progressive Doctors. Neither they nor anyone else has ever offered proof of any of those statements. If you can hear me, if you have that proof, leave a comment. In reaction, Dr. Giroir yesterday confirmed the Berenson's account and accused Pfizer of putting corporate interests ahead of public health. I have a link in the description to his tweet, quoting a tweet of Berenson's 4-tweet thread. This is the second one, in fact. Another user tweeted a screencap of a graph of a price of Pfizer common stock, which is headed steadily south. I have a link in the description to that tweet also. We see here two things. First, as ever, we see Twitter staff lending their platform to suppression of contrary opinion. Heretofore, we have seen only those having political motives asking for such suppression. Now we hear of it coming from someone who had demonstrable financial gain. This is the worst sort of moral hazard that plagues a capitalistic economy. Second, we see something I saw often in my days in the medical profession. When you're a druggist, all the world has the sniffles or some such thing. Drug companies thrive on sickness. the threat of sickness, or the perception of a threat. It ill befits anyone to scare people into believing they need something they might not need, or to exaggerate the need. And it worse befits a communications medium to facilitate suppression of the truth. A free market must have truth to function properly, and truth depends on the free exchange of information. Twitter, at the behest of Pfizer, worked against both. Link in the description to the article, to Alex Berenson's thread, meaning every other tweet, to Alex Berenson's article on Substack, to that Israeli study that Dr. Giroir cited, to 7 tweets by Dr. Giroir in August of 2021, to Justin Hart's tweet in September 2021, and the reply by progressive doctors, whoever they are, to Dr. Giroir's reaction yesterday afternoon to the Screencap of the downtrend in Pfizer stock, to my Declarations of Truth Twitter account, and to Conservative News and Views. I've also left links to the awesome CNAV Store and to oursilverlines.com, as I also mentioned. You know already about how to like a video, turn on notifications, and leave a tip. On the end screen, I'm going to leave a subscribe link to my channel and links to my Twitter Files playlist and other videos about this latest release. This is Terry A. Hurlbut delivering another declaration of truth and reminding you to let the truth set you free.